Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. I'm going to make the attempt to call Austin. He's the one that just graduated a little while back. My phone ain't cooperating at the moment. There he is. Let's see here. And let's see if he's gonna be available. See if we can hear him.
Hey man.
What's going on with you, young blood?
Not much. What you doing?
Oh, I'm making that video recording I told you I'd call and do. So you're being recorded at the moment.
Alright, cool.
So try to speak up a little bit if you can so I can make sure I get it on the recording.
Alright, hold on. Is that any better?
Oh, hell yeah.
Alright, cool.
Now we're cooking with grease. Well, congratulations on the graduating.
I appreciate it.
Are you doing your homework, trying to figure out who you're going to go with?
Yes and no. Just kind of taking it easy right now for a minute.
I don't blame you. Catch your breath. Don't do nothing rash. You know? And remember, recruiters are just like car salesmen. They lie like hell to get your butt in the seat.
That's it. That's it.
Now, where you're at down there are a couple of truck stops. And I recommend that as you, a couple of things that you need to consider looking for a job is one is watch for what's the most trucks that you see, you know, the name of the company that come into your area. And that way you know they come there enough to get you home. Then number two is as you're talking to companies and you might be interested, go to a truck stop and talk to a dozen different drivers of that company. You can't talk to one or two because one might just be wanting to get that recruiting bonus or he might just be disgruntled, you know, so talk to a few of them. So, but now you're going to be wanting to go back home to Arkansas, right?
Yeah, I'd like to.
I understand. Well, if you don't mind, let's take a little journey down your memory path on this trip you've taken to get your CDL. Now, when did you first start trying to get your CDL, and how did you do it?
I was 20. I went down there to the DMV. I paid the fee to get the book and got my application to get my permit. I passed all my written tests the first time.
That was in Arkansas, correct?
Yeah, that was in Arkansas.
Okay.
Like I said, I got my permit. I trained with this mom and pop company. Things didn't work out. My permit expired.
Now, you said you had to pay to get your permit? Or get the book? Or get the book, rather?
Yeah, it was about $50.
Well, see, now I'm used to you have to pay to take the test, but normally the book and all that is free. Or am I just misunderstanding you?
No, I had to pay to get I had to pay to get this, what they call a packet. You get the book, and that covers your testing fee also.
Oh wow. Oh well, if it included your test, that's all. That's the same thing as. So you didn't have to pay again to go take your test.
No,
all right. So
deal.
What that boils down to is they're tired of people coming and getting the books and all that stuff and not taking their test. So if you're interested enough, we're going to charge you up front. Okay, I don't think it's right, but I understand what they're doing.
I hear you. So,
now, you said you got on with the mom and pops with your permit. What was the goals there? What was they telling you was going to do? How was that going to help you out to get your CDL?
They just gonna let me train with this feller. once I got all my training done and I passed my road test, they were going to hire me. But things didn't work out with my trainer. In my opinion, he felt like he done some stuff that wasn't, quote, safe, So,
Right.
Yeah.
So now, how long were you with this company?
Well, I was with them about a year. I had my permit extended.
And how much driving did you actually get to do?
Oh man.
Well, the thing is, did you do a lot of driving, or was you mostly riding along listening to him?
It equaled out. So I did some driving, but mostly listened to him.
All right. Now, did they give you that driver's qualifications? Did they tell you why they wanted you to go with him?
No, I didn't say nothing like that.
They just said, this is the guy that's going to train you.
They said, yep, he's going to train me, and yeah.
Well, now I know during our conversations you have a brother-in-law that's a truck driver, and you had told him a little bit about this, and he was telling you that guy, what he was teaching you would not get you past your CDL test, your actual driving test. Did you find, once you went to school, did you find that to be true, that he was teaching you wrong?
Oh yeah, right off the bat.
Okay, well, that's good. And this is good stuff for other people to know. That's why I'm questioning you on it.
Oh, it's fine.
So you went from that, you had to extend your permit. Now that cost you another $50 or what?
Yeah, I think so. Best I can remember.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So then you went down to Florida to stay with your sister and your brother-in-law that's a truck driver, and you enrolled into school, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of school was it?
It was Roadmaster in Orlando.
Okay, so that's all they teach. It's not a college or not a government thing or none of that. It's a regular truck driving school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you mind if I ask how much that cost you?
No, it cost me, I had to finance it, it cost me about $6,000. I'm sorry, $7,000.
Okay, now how long did it last?
About 3 weeks, 160 hours.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. They worked your butt off if you did 160 hours in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel, after riding around with that other guy, because you do have a little experience driving a truck and being in the trucking community and the industry, do you feel that company did pretty good at getting you prepared to come out on the road?
In a way, because I got comfortable with a truck and seeing how it works and operates and the way it maneuvers.
Well, that's cool.
But,
well, and I know from our phone calls that you had a few rough spots there. Blindside parallel parking, that's to be expected, you know.
Oh yeah.
If this stuff was all easy, everybody would do it, you know.
Oh yeah.
And to be honest with you, you're past the easy part, and that's getting your CDL, and now it's a matter of learning the lifestyle out here and if it's good for you, you know, because some people just ain't cut out to be a nomad, and that's basically what you are out here, is a nomad, you know.
Oh yeah.
So now you have to start learning how the industry actually works. You learn how the truck works and how to operate it. Now you got to learn how the industry works and how to operate it. But do you feel justified in the money that you spent on that school?
I do.
No.
They were good people there.
You didn't come out of it feeling like you'd been ripped off?
No, not at all.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. and now it's just a matter of process of elimination who you're going to go with.
That's it.
Now, is there any chance that you can go out with your brother-in-law for a little bit? Will his company allow that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've done it actually before I started this school a little bit.
Now, they're not going to let you drive the truck because you're not an employee and insurance don't cover you. But now, how often does he get home?
He's home every night.
Oh, okay. So is he driving a day cab?
No, it's a sleeping truck.
Okay. Is he running dedicated lanes? Is he going the same places every day?
Yeah, yes, pretty much.
Okay. So you're not going to really learn a whole lot about the road part of it, but you can start learning about the checking in and all that good stuff, and just a little bit of the fundamentals. But that's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Now, did you wind up graduating top in your class? I know you was way up there at the top. Was you the number one?
I wasn't the number one, no.
No? I know you had to be damn close to it.
Yeah, I was pretty close. I carried a 93 average overall.
Oh, wow. Now, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I was pretty proud of that.
Well, and you should be, man. You did good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What criteria are you using to talk to these companies and decide who you're going with? I know you ain't started talking to them to speak of yet, but have you thought about that? What are you going to need out of a company for you to be happy with them? Because like I've told you before, whoever you go with, you really need to stay there 2 years. So you need to do a little bit of homework and make sure that they are going to fit the bill for what you need.
I got you.
Have you thought about that?
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, that's something you need to start thinking about. You're single, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm single.
And you're what, 22, 23?
21.
21? Boy, you just right there at the age of getting that CDL. You did good.
Thank you.
So, one thing that you need to really think about is find out if they have a terminal close to you, to where you want to take your off time. And a lot of companies are flexible on where you can take your off time. That's something else you need to find out. And that's why I say you need to talk to drivers, not just a recruiter. A recruiter is nothing but a professional liar. He's going to tell you what you want to hear, and you need to keep that in your mind, because they will make that company sound so great and make you great promises, and then when you get there, you find out they lied to you. They're not going to want to put anything in writing. They're going to tell you, oh, well, it's in our brochure. Well, then send it to me in a text. You know how to text? Send me a text with that. You know, that kind of stuff. And you'll find out that the majority of them are not going to want to put anything in writing. So, but you want to find out if they're flexible where you take your off time. That's where you tell them, I'm going to want some of my off time in Arkansas, and I'm going to want some of my off time in Florida. Is that going to be a problem? And that could also be a good way to communicate with them through emails. If they have a website, which in this day and age they all should have, you can put these questions into an email to send them, and that way they should respond to you back in an email, and then you have proof of y'all's conversation. But
I understand.
that's going to be one of your number one things. Normally, another big one is, how long do you want me to stay out? But at 21 and just getting in the industry, I doubt if you're over worried about getting home every 2 weeks.
I hear you.
Well, let me see who this is. Oh, let me put you on hold a minute, brother.
All right, bud. All right, sir.
All right. Actually, that was my dispatcher calling. Just a little industry lesson for you. I'm sitting at a Walmart in Bentonville, Arkansas. That's close to your neck of the woods. So the load's been totally jacked up. I picked it up in Texas, Grand Prairie, or not Grand Prairie, where what? But over there by Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth area. It took them over 4 hours to get me loaded. We're on electronic logs. I had already delivered 2 drops out. No, I had a single drop. I delivered it, had to pick up by noon. I got over there at 11:45 and checked in, and I was there 4 hours. Well, on electronic log, your 14 hours keep ticking away. They barely got me out of there to beat rush hour traffic. Now, with my electronic stuff, I could drive until I was 30 minutes away from this place. Alright, away from Walmart. I had to shut out for my 10-hour break. That was at 9 o'clock at night. 10 hours makes it 7 o'clock. My appointment was for 6 a.m. You do the math, you know. And I told them before they ever loaded me, because I'm doing the math on this log, I told them then, your load's going to be late. I ain't even loaded it yet, and it's going to be late. Well, everybody hauling around. The broker tried to put the blame on me, on the driver. Well, your driver didn't check in. Oh, yes, I did. So we've had a few discussions about that, and I will not allow them to blame me for it. Late last night, they did change my appointment and made it at 9 o'clock. Walmart, you can't spend the night on their property, so I couldn't have just drove on in. I got here at 8:30 this morning. You're allowed to check in, I think, an hour early. I got here a half hour early, so I was here at 8:30. Dropped my trailer in the dock. I came to the bobtail area, and I'm still sitting. And and it's now 11:08. So I've been here 2.5 hours, and all they will tell me is it's going to take a long time. Well, now dispatch has me on another load, and now they're getting concerned about if I'll make those appointments. And I just laughed at him. I said, dude, it's Walmart. This shit's out of my control. And that's something that you're going to have to learn as a rookie. The dispatchers are going to try to put a guilt trip on you and get you to do unsafe and illegal stuff to get the load there. Now, you know I'm an old outlaw from way back. Days of paper logs, I would have lied, cheated, and changed my logs, and I would have been here at 6 a.m. On computer logs, you cannot do that. Don't even try. And don't let them pressure you into doing any of this. Don't let them blame you like that broker was trying to put the monkey on my back. But it just don't work that way. Don't let them do it. You ain't got to be an asshole, but you can be firm and say, oh no, don't blame the truck driver. So that's where I'm at right now. And now they're starting to sweat it, and I'm sitting here laughing about it, talking to you. So, dadgummit. Oh, where was we at in our conversation? I done lost track.
Let's see.
We were talking about you going with another company and what some of the priorities are that you need with that company. So,
Well,
have you thought about that while I had you on hold?
I was trying, but I couldn't.
Right, you don't know the industry, so you don't know what to ask.
Right, I don't.
You and I will stay in touch, and I'll try to help you come up with a little bit more stuff. You do need to start you a little list. You need to talk to your brother-in-law. How long's he been trucking?
25 years.
Well, see, he's right there with me. And with 25 years, I assume he used to be an over-the-road driver.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, you can talk to him a little bit, and between him and I, maybe we can help you come up with some questions for what you need as a company driver. Now, one of the things you're going to want to find out, although it will be a minor deter and decision on whether you go with them, is what are their trucks governed at? Some of these companies are 62 and 65 miles an hour. In my opinion, those slow trucks are a hazard on the road. So, but you do need to know what speed the trucks are set at. You need to find out how many miles they average, their drivers average a week. Now that's going to be a double-edged sword on you. A lot of companies in the beginning, they're going to start you out real cheap, pay you very little, but they're going to really put a lot of miles on you because you're cheaper than the driver that's been with them 5 years. So they shortchange the more expensive drivers and they put it on the cheaper drivers. I mean, that's just how it works.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to want to find out about that. You're going to want to find out how they figure their home time. Most companies are 7 days out, 1 day off. I totally disagree with that, but that's how they do it. And you won't be able to argue with them on that. I can with my experience, but you cannot. You also need to find out that if you stay out for 2 months, are you going to be allowed to take 5 days off? Or 6 days off? Or are they going to hold you to a 34 or 48 hours off? So you need to know how they are going to calculate your home time. So, but with that, that's about all the words of wisdom I can throw at you at this time. What would you like to tell the people that are coming into the industry that are thinking about getting their CDLs? Do you have any words of wisdom, some advice for anybody?
Yeah, just do what they're saying. Go to school. That's the easiest way to do it.
So you found the trying to take shortcuts did not really work? The cheaper way out didn't work?
No, it didn't work.
Not.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, not in your experience. That ain't saying that it won't work for everybody, but from your experience, that did not work. So they need to double check what they're doing.
That's it. You know, like I say, it may work for some, but it didn't work out for me. That's you know, I believe it'd be a good career. You know.
It will. It will. And you're young enough that if you stay out here 5 years or so, I've told a lot of people, your first 5 years out here is really a lot of fun. Your next 5 years out here, it's okay. After that, it starts going downhill because it becomes a job. Well, you're starting young enough. See, I started when I was in my 30s, or right at it. Well, I was 31 or 32, I think. And by the time I figured out that it was a trap, and it is a trap, because all the other industries are leaving you behind. You're stuck in your truck. But you're young enough that in 5 to 10 years, you're going to be 30, 31 years old. If you don't like it, you're still young enough to get out and do something else. You know, us older people were not. I'm at age now that nobody gonna want to hire my old fat butt. It's just reality, man. I live in no sugar added, you know.
Oh, I hear you.
Well, little brother, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you accomplished it. You are living proof to everybody to just stay after it and keep after it. If you have a dream, just keep working for it, and you can figure out a way to do it, and that's awesome in this day and age. Well, we live in a day and age of instant gratification. Everybody wants it right now, and you have put in well over a year to get your CDLs, and that's really remarkable. That's an outstanding feat. I'm very proud of you for that. And
thank you.
don't thank me. You're the one that did it. But
And
you are living proof to a lot of people that it can be done if you have the heart and the willpower to do it. So,
oh yeah.
and by all means, you have my phone number. There ain't too many that do, but you have my phone number. You get out there, or even while you're trying to talk to some different companies, if you want to call me and say, yo, Papa Joe, do you know about this company? Or what do you think about this? Just write down that list of questions and get answers from them. Try to do it in an email any way that you can so that you have a record of their answers. That can help you a lot when you get there and they start changing stuff on you. And trust me, stuff will not be exactly as that recruiter told you. But by all means, feel free to call me. And you know by now, I'll be honest with you. And I'll tell you what I can tell you.
I sure appreciate it.
All right, little brother. Good luck in your career. I'm proud of you. I love you. God loves you. Keep him in your life, in your daily life.
Oh yeah.
All right. Bye, bro.
All right, buddy. I see you.
Bye-bye. And there you go, boys and girls. That was Austin. Yes, he has put in a long time trying to get his CDLs, but like I told him, he is living proof that you can do it. Everything don't have to come easy to you. Sometimes you have to work for stuff. And he obviously has worked for his CDL, and I wish him the best. I mean, I really do. I know it's something that he wants to do. He has truck drivers in his family. I believe his stepdad's a truck driver. His brother-in-law's a truck driver. From that neck of the woods where he's at, they're on the Arkansas-Missouri border, basically. There's a lot of truck drivers through that whole area. So he's not walking into this blind. He tried it with a mom and pop's company that was going to help him get his CDLs. That did not work out. So he wound up going to a school. He wound up going in debt for it. And I know there'll be people that criticize him going into debt. I don't want to hear it. He don't want to hear it. He did what was right for him and in his circumstances. So I think he did awesome. The $6,000 to $7,000 that he said he's going to have to pay, that really ain't much. Which, Austin, if you're coming back watching this, that's another question you need to ask new companies, is are they going to help pay for that school? A lot of companies will help pay for that school. So, find out if they're going to do that for you. That could help relieve you of a lot of burden there. Now, sometimes you still have to make your payments, and then they reimburse you. Sometimes they pay half of it. Sometimes they have a dollar limit. But that's one of the things you need to find out, is if they will help you. But with that, folks, you seen I had got that phone call earlier. I got to make a couple other phone calls, play phone tag. I just wanted to reach out to him while I was sitting here at Walmart and get this online for y'all. So y'all have a blessed day now. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. If you're trying to follow your dream, even if it ain't in the trucking industry, follow your dream. Don't give up. Keep working at it. If the avenue you're trying is not working, try a different avenue. Stop, slow down a minute, regroup, and figure out how else can I try this. Hey, y'all have a blessed day now. Love you. Bye.